Welcome to the Community Hotline, for the community, by the community. This is a place where community members can jump on and share their personal experiences with the youth. And today we got Mr. Brent. Why don't you introduce yourself, good sir?
What's up, man? Well, my name is Brent. I met Bob back in Los Angeles when I was working at WeWork. I do sales there for a company called Renaissance. Been grinding with that company for the last 5, 7 years, and finally starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, per se. But there's still a lot of work to be done. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. And I play music, as you can see behind me.
I love it. I love it. When did you start playing music?
What, like 13?
Okay. What'd you start with?
Just my best friends at the time from middle school.
No, but what instrument did you start with?
Oh, bass, guitar, and vocals.
Okay. And then slowly you learned everything?
A little bit, yeah. Guitar, still learning piano. Yeah, drums a little bit, but not really.
All right, I love that. Cool, man. Let's jump into our first question of the day, which is going to be super deep. Tell us, what are 3 defining moments in your life, and how do they impact you?
What was the question?
3 defining moments in your life, and how do they impact you?
Well, maybe the one that you just mentioned, starting a band when I was young, because music's always been a big part of my life. So that's one. Two would be meeting my mentor, because before then, career wise, I was not, I didn't have a very clear vision of what I wanted. I knew it was business, but I got lucky enough to meet John, who's a mentor who's done it all and literally guide me and show me, when he has experience himself. And three, oh, maybe, yeah, for sure. I'll probably go back to make that one to me having a secret. I was like, it helped me stay on point. Seeger's my old dog, by the way, for people who don't know. It's a Rottweiler. Because I helped me really stay on point as far as being athletic, because being athletic is a big part of my life as well. So it always motivated me. I got to make sure that he stays on shape. I can only go to the gym, got to go hiking, do all that good stuff. So because of him, I did a lot of cool outdoor stuff that I probably would not have done.
Love that. Let's go into our first topic of the day, which is going to be love. Tell us, what is love?
Passion. Love is like you gotta have like some kind of passion, whether it's good or bad, but it's passionate. Some people sometimes have they express it in a negative way, but that's love too, unfortunately. Others they don't express it in a negative way. But yeah, it's like putting something or someone in front of yourself. Simple.
Correct. What is was Seeger your first dog?
Technically like third, but it was the first one that I owned when I was out on my own. So yes, because I got to do all that stuff like drive, go to the mountains. Before then, I was still in high school. I didn't have a car, so I was just stuck to my parents not wanting to take the dog out.
I love that. What would you say to kids in high school who have lost their first family dog? How do they get over that grief?
Ooh, I mean, it's tough. I guess like the only thing that really kind of helped me is just knowing that I gave them an awesome life. I brought them everywhere, so just be good to them while they're there. And then, when that time comes, you'll know that you did anything and everything for them, and that there's no regrets.
Okay. How do you go about picking your first dog? Or yeah.
One of my best friends gave him to me. Like he bought it for himself, but then like he decided that he was gonna give it to me because I wanted a dog for my sister. So I first got Seeger for my sister, kind of like to protect her because she was in a new neighborhood. Even though it was probably useless and very clumsy and puppy, so he was not very protective. But like, all right, it's a Rottweiler. Uh, so yeah, my best friend, like at the time, he sold it to me. He got him, so I had him as a puppy.
Nice, nice. What would you say? Who was your first love?
Probably high school.
Tell us a story, man.
Um, I was doing the whole music thing. I was in a band, and uh, my ego took the best of me. I was having too much fun, and I don't think I took it as serious as I could have. And I didn't realize it until maybe 10 years later.
Elaborate. What does that mean?
I was just having too much fun. Like I was in a band. I was like, um, quote unquote, popular in the scene. So I had a lot of people. I was doing things every day, socializing a lot. So um, I wasn't very boyfriend material.
I love that. I love that. What was your relationship with your parents like in high school compared to now? Has it changed?
No, thank God it's always been good. Like, I always respect them. They always done their very best to, like make sure that I don't slip and do anything dumb, stay away from drugs and stuff like that. So, yeah, no, still good. Good relationship then. So I don't want to say that I'm one of those punk rockers that came from a broken home because it's absolutely not.
I love that.
We're from a
What
broken country, not a broken home.
what is like the foundation of like the relationship that you have with your parents that makes it like so good?
um, I don't know. I mean, I think it's all love. It's all genuine love, and it's a small family, so it's really only like six of us. Then we're all that we got. We've been here in LA. Everyone else is like in different countries. So maybe just that unity that some families they're like they have their family, but then they have their cousins, and they have like a bunch of family like right here. Go to family reunions like huge. Like holy shit, they're all your family. So I think like families like that sometimes it's harder to I think there's a lot of distancing and stuff, because it's so big. As opposed to when the family is small, it's like all right, this is like our small circle. Kind of like my friends in high school. I was been like small circle kind of person. I think small circles work best.
I like that. Who's the six? It's your mom, your dad, you, and your sister. You have two more.
My brother and then my aunt. She's always been part of the family as well.
Got it. What's the relationship with your siblings like? Where do you stand? Oldest, middle?
I'm the middle. I'm in the middle. I get along with my brother and my sister. Not best friends or anything like that, but not enemies at all by far. We're like just like when we talk, oh, like what's up, what are you doing, and nowadays, and just you know, yeah, good relationship. Never had any grief.
I like that. What about growing up in LA? What's that like?
Growing up in LA back in my days, it's a little bit different than now, um, because like transportation wasn't what it was now. Like there wasn't Uber, there wasn't Lyft. There was the MTA, and that's it. There was the MTA not coming by, and that's it. Now you have to walk home, whether you're in the hood or not. There was no call a Lyft and like or whatever. So yeah, it was a little bit. I got kicked out of high school for having a knife. And they were like, "Oh, why you have a knife in school?" I'm like, "Well, because I live in South Central and I have to walk home at midnight." And then, yeah, so they were like, "Of course," like I just to protect myself. But yeah, I mean that was life in South Central, growing up in South Central.
I love that. All right, let's go into the education topic then. Who were you in high school?
Who was I?
Yeah, who were you in high school?
Um, I was a rebel, but a smart one. So I passed all my classes, but I always kind of like gave shit in political science, topics that have to do with politics or stuff like that. I always was very opinion, like, always voice myself. Um, yeah, but I did pretty good. English was one of my favorite topics just because I was a songwriter. So I like to know my English really well so I could floss on people that don't know how to write really good songs and they're very basic and not much thought go into it. Uh, yes, I've been a fan of hip hop, so that actually also helped my vocabulary. I would say Jim Morrison from The Doors because he writes a lot of poetry. So he kind of like pushed me because I was reading his poetry and I didn't know what the fuck he was talking. Didn't know what he was talking about. So then I got on the dictionary, the thesaurus and all that stuff, and I started kind of like learning more English because I wanted to know how to express myself the way that he did. So that helped me a lot as far as education, and then got me an English class, and then they gave me really good. I forgot what it was. It was English 103, one of my favorite. Very like a lot of critical thinking kind of like stuff that you had to read. Um, yeah, so English was one of my favorites.
Is
But
it
I
like the
always,
is it like the movies where you get bullied for being smart, like you trying to read up too much, or do they not care?
no, because nobody. I do that on my own time. I'm not sitting under a tree reading. I was actually the opposite of that.
I like that, man. What would you say to like the kids who are more introverted and like experiencing bullying in school? Did you ever were you the bully? Have you experienced bullying?
um, Not necessarily. Um, I mean, I was a punk rocker, so everyone wanted to pick on the punk rockers, but I was also pretty tough. So then, like, not everyone wanted to pick on this punk rocker. But well, to the kids, I would say join martial arts. That's the best thing. Like, take classes that builds your confidence, that builds your discipline. That's gonna make you better in everything in life. Martial arts is huge. I went. My thing was boxing. When I was in middle school, I joined boxing. That got me into a lot of discipline, and once I'm a chubby kid, I'm a fat kid naturally, but I constantly work out so that that doesn't happen. But boxing was my first thing that got me confidence. Got me into shape, and I was a bit of a loner before being in music and being a punk rocker and all that stuff. I was the weird kid that like birds and like bees and like nature a lot. But yeah, once I got into boxing, it kind of built my confidence, and then yeah, from there, like yeah, most of my friends were doing something similar. They were like taekwondo, karate, like different martial arts. So I felt like we're like the Power Rangers. We all have different. I know boxing, karate. He knows Muay Thai. Yeah, together we are the community hotline.
I love that, man. I love that. And what happened after high school? Did you go to college or?
Yeah, I went to college. I took business. Well, first, like anybody in college, I was taking a bunch of classes. Just I don't know, being like a little bit of a nerd at that point. Yeah, because I kind of like learning. I'm like, oh, cool. This time I get to pick everything I really want. So I'm like, all right, picking stuff. Didn't do so great in some classes, so I learned how to balance myself. Don't take too many classes all at once. um,
Oh,
Unless you're ready. But I wasn't ready because I was still being very social, even though I was going to school. I was still like playing music, doing that, you know, most of my time. But yeah, I went to college. I studied business. I wanted to major psychology. Then I studied the stats of how much psychologists make, and that was before COVID-19, so they didn't make that much. After COVID-19, oh, I messed up. Let's just say I should have been in psychology. I would have been making a lot of money. Everybody needed psychology after, like maybe a therapist after COVID-19.
definitely, definitely. What
But
would you say?
before when I did the studies and I did the stats, like you're going to be a teacher, a broke teacher, like a psychology. So there was not like a lot of options. And then I really thought about it. I'm like, do I really want to make a living out of hearing people's problems? It's like, probably not. Like,
What's
I do
the
it for free already.
I mean, I would argue you're already doing that a little bit.
Yeah, no, I do. That's what I said. I'm like, I kind of do it for free already, but I definitely wouldn't make it into a career.
What are like the two biggest changes you've experienced from high school to now?
Two biggest changes. Well, right when I got out of high school is kind of like when I met John. But the thing about John is that I didn't really take him as serious, and like I should have been smarter and like kind of like really kind of like listen and been. I didn't really become his student until like maybe I feel like 3 years after knowing him. Even though he was trying to like teach me off right off the back, kind of like get me on his wing. But I would say that's one of the, once that clicked, I'm like, oh, dude, this dude really wants to help me. Like there was trust, so it was a lot of trust. Like I'm a trustworthy person. I'm pretty loyal, so he kind of saw that. And as a businessman, they appreciate that a lot. It's really hard to find loyalty in like somebody that's, uh, I don't want to say smart, but it's very open minded and has like very innovative and willing to learn. So that's I guess what he saw in me, and yeah. So I would say that's one of number two would be. I don't even think I have a real big number two right now since high school to now. Um,
And how old are you now?
34. I mean, I joined, as you know, the whole punk rock fight club. I wish that was around back then because that really kind of like, there's a lot of kids there that go there, like a lot of the aim is for a lot of the youth, and it helps them. It helps them like just be better. Some of them were broken. They were like, they didn't have many friends. They didn't have many people to relate with. And that place became like not only motivating, but it also kind of like helped some people kind of like figure their stuff out.
Mm.
So that was really cool. I wish that was around back when I was young. I joined it a little bit later, but I guess that impacted me in a way, because they really kind of like helped me re-see that vision of reaching your full potential in an athletic perspective. Because I was with these guys when they first started. It wasn't anything big, and then just within 1 year, this guy like got a whole like team of 80 people that joined the gym. He opened up his own gym officially. The mayor of Whittier came to cut the rope with him, and it got really big. I want to get that big, so it keeps me motivated. So even now that I'm 34, I still stay motivated to keep pushing at the gym and keep that sharpness, and that helped me. I would say just being part of that punk rock fight club for that moment, and just knowing that that motivation is there, and just like I feel it, even though I'm like far away now. I'm in the valley. A lot, I'm looking on Instagram, like, oh shit, all the guys are there. They're all like pushing right now. They're all going to the gym. Don't be lazy, y'all. Just go to the gym, even if it's Gold's Gym. Like, all right, come on. So I like having that on my feeds, because it pushes me when I'm lazy to go out there and do it.
Like that. How do you find a mentor, or how do you develop that trust? I feel like that's a problem that kids have, right? They don't know who to trust.
We'll repeat it.
How do you find like a mentor? Like, how do kids find mentors?
Oh man, honestly, sometimes I would say a lot of it is a matter of luck. Because there are some people out there that they could really they could get you. They present to be your mentor. Hey man, I believe in you. You're gonna be a rich man just like me. Look how much I made. Stay away from that. Stay away from anybody showing you their freaking paychecks. That's weird. You don't need nobody showing you their paychecks. That's just a little bit too weird. It's like, hey, I believe you. Like, you own the company, right? You don't gotta show me your paychecks. But I would say, when you'll know when it is. It'll be somebody that you look up to, that you can see like, wow, either that person, they make a lot of money. I look up to that. I want to be like that. Or damn, that person looks really good. I want to be like that. Or that person sings really good. That it could be like that. And then all of a sudden you're in that circle, And if they show you a little bit of that they care about you, because most mentors, like I'm on the way. That's what I want to be. I want to be a mentor for others and sales and everything. Mentors, they naturally care. So like when they see somebody that's seeking, they'll be able to see that, and at that point it's up to you to also see and don't be shy and like go for it. Be like, hey, really admire what you do. What can I do? Like I'm at your disposal, but really kind of like be humble and then just sometimes just be like, let me know, just learn because whatever you're gonna learn, it's something you're gonna take for a long time. And a mentor, it's something like I said that it's hard to find, and that's definitely a relationship that everybody wants to build and have somebody like that.
Someone that cares. I like that. Move on to the last topic, which is going to be money. Tell us. I want to go into this scam thing that you're talking about. Because we've been in LA. There's tons of scammers around there. What are the top 3 red flags that you want to let the kids know?
Well, there's a few apparently I found out. One of them is it goes 50 and 50. I'm gonna be honest. It goes a little bit 50 and 50 because even though I do feel like I don't want to say I got scammed, but I got played. I definitely got played. I don't want to say I got scammed, but I got played. But they were teaching game. They were teaching how to run a business. They were teaching really good lessons, like an education for sales that you don't get like really anywhere else. But obviously, they're doing it for their own benefit. But I mean, for young people, it's great. But when they try to kind of like get somebody like me at 34 to do this, and like I'm like, there's hit and miss and wasting time. And if I'm like 19, 20, yeah, I'll hop on that. I'm like, all right, I might lose some money, but the knowledge is always the most important thing that you could always learn anywhere. Even if they think they're playing you, like these guys, they might have thought they played me like, but at the end of the day, I went in there like a secret agent, just grabbing knowledge, packing my bag with knowledge of what they're doing and how to run a business. And then when I said I'm out, I just left with a backpack full of knowledge. So whether they want to think whatever it is that they did, I feel like, well, I got a lot of information that I'm going to apply now in a job that I care, that I know that I really want to be successful. I know that the person, the owner, he actually cared about me. He never let me down. So he was very bummed out when I was working for the other company. How you gonna leave me? How you gonna go and work for them? I'm like, look, I couldn't go to Miami. I couldn't leave Seeger behind. I couldn't move. I couldn't do the big drastic change. I had to just let go. And they picked me up. They saw me. They're like, hey, what are you doing? So, but I told them, hey, I'm learning some stuff. Don't worry. I know that everything I'm learning, I'm gonna grab, and I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back, and I'm gonna come back ready to run a team, ready to teach, ready to do that. Because that's what they had me doing. They had me teaching sales. And I was really good at it. So they loved it. Like, oh my God, this guy, he's not even getting paid and he's working for free. He's teaching great. Oh my God, look at him. This is amazing. As a matter of fact, he's paying us.
Milk him some more.
Okay, so yeah, one thing too. So how they got me, it's a system that they call the draw and they call an advancement. And between the draw and the advancement, like I don't even know, there was nothing that says this is what you make. I'm like, wait, why am I borrowing or you're advancing me? What am I making? So companies like this, what they do is they almost put you in a hole where they're like, oh, well, you didn't make enough sales, but we're giving you $500. And then at that point, you think, okay, I'm getting $500 because I've been working, and in reality, they just keep building. Oh, you didn't make no sales. Here's another $500. Oh, your limit is $1,500. Now you owe us $1,500. Yeah, that's how they got me. That's how they played me. And it was terrible. Like once I found out, I'm like, dude, I'll work just to pay. I'm like, do I owe my job money for working for them?
They didn't tell you it was a 100% commission job?
No, it is a commission job, but the whole thing. All right, so It's a whole thing with AT&T's. There was installers, but the installers, I closed a lot of jobs, but the installers didn't want to install it. Whatever reason it is, it doesn't matter. I don't get paid. Yeah, the installers, to keep it short, they're paid by union. Union workers, whether they do the job or not, they get paid anyways, and they have a bunch of people fighting for them if they don't. So they're the way they saw it, like, well, it's too much work. Hey, don't change. Why are you gonna change? That's what they will tell the customer. And then they would just convince them not to change and leave. They get paid and I don't. So then, I mean, the company knew there was a system flaw like that going on in the system, but they're not making aware the new sales reps of it. They're just kind of sinking them in a hole. And we're thinking that we're making money, but we're really not. And they glorify you every single day. Oh my God, Brent made $1,900 today. High five, Brent. And then a week later, oh yeah, they all canceled. You made $50.
Wow. Wow.
So don't fall into something that's too culty. So we had team meetings every morning where they just hype you up, like Zooms, like, oh yeah, look at that, high five, blah, blah, blah. Everyone just hyped up for no reason, you know? Which I understood the psychology of it at the moment, but I think it just, you could apply it for right, but they just applied it for wrong. The system could work for right, but it just gotta apply for evil.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is money?
Huh?
What is money?
I mean, whatever it is at the moment. Well, to you, it may be many things. It might be all kinds of bitcoins and all kinds of crazy coins. I mean, honestly, money's the same thing it's always been, and I don't think it's gonna be changing anytime soon. They've been talking about the collapse, just like they've been talking about the Mayans. It's not happening. Aliens showed up before the Mayans, bro.
What is the what's your relationship with money like? How has it changed from high school to now?
They definitely became much more important, which is like right now, why like things are clicking with John. I'm like, okay, I really got to be at that level right now. Growing up, it wasn't as important because I mean, I was making really good for myself, but I was just not really good at saving because I had this whole mentality that any moment now, shit's gonna blow up. Any moment now, it's just any moment. Whether it's gonna be business, the band, something, it's just about to. Just don't worry about it. You're good. So that was my mentality for a long, long time, and it didn't happen. So now I'm making it blow up, trying harder.
I like that. I like that. What any money advice for the kids?
Um, well, save it and invest. Definitely invest. Like that's something I wish I did. In property, you know, I would say like something that'll keep making you more money if you can. Um, don't think about buying a house first. You know, live in a condo and get a house and have that make you money for a little bit. Have your first investment maybe be like some kind of property. I would say. Nowadays, there's a lot of things that kids are doing where they're teaming up. Even like if it's two buddies and they buy a house together, then they flip it and then you both make money. I mean, that's something that was not happening before, but it seemed because the real estate is doing so bad, people started doing that. But I mean, that's great if you trust your buddy, I guess. But it's something to innovative ways to just because you don't have enough at the moment, if you have another buddy that has a similar idea and aspirations, then join together and make it happen, flip it, and then from there you guys flip your own.
Love that. Love that. Any last words that you want to say to the kids? Last remarks?
Stay in school, don't do drugs. No, find a good hobby. Find a good hobby, something that you really like, to keep your mind preoccupied, not just from trying to reach that ultimate goal. Obviously always have that ultimate goal, but have a hobby that's good for yourself. And if you can make money with that, if you find a way, then I mean that's the dream right there.
I love that. I love that. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Before I forget, if you are going through some hardships right now, some suicidal thoughts, and you need someone to talk to, feel free to text home to 741-741. That is an actual national hotline. Someone will be there to respond and talk to you. Other than that, we'll see you guys next time on the next episode. Peace.